everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Press that subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking about the Tyler Perry film Straw that is streaming on Netflix. Just came out June the 6th, and the movie has gotten really polarizing reviews. It's like half of the reviews that I've seen and comments on X and other social media apps have been that the film is a typical Tyler Perry film. Don't waste your time. You know the plot, you know how it's going to end. And the other half of the reviews have been great. People say it's a tearjerker, it's a must watch. They were pleasantly surprised, and I am on that side. I went in with the movie with minimal expectations, knowing it's a Tyler Perry film. So cool. There is a common thread, in his movies. But I went in again with minimal expectations. I'm just going to check it out. It's Taraji P. Henson. And I just, want to see how it goes. Sherry Shepherd is also in the film, co-starring as well. So I gave it a go, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to give too much of the film away just in case you haven't seen it. So that common thread is like it's a single black mom who doesn't have a lot of money, is going, having a really difficult time. And so the film is kind of her reaction to what she's going through in her life at the moment. Okay. So I'll just preface everything that I'm going to say by that. And that way, if you haven't watched the film, you can go watch it. That's going to be the core of the plot. Somebody's going through something and they're reacting to what they're going through. Strong reactions. All right. So here is what I want to say in regards to Tyler Perry and his filmmaking, his not just his films, but his plays, his television shows. Tyler Perry is a person that works. He is a person that employs actors. He pays people fairly, from what I understand. And he is the person that's not looking for a seat at the table. As he said, I can have my own house with my own table in it. I don't need to beg for a seat at the table. And that is what I respect about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry gets a bad rap for making films that a lot of black people and black women say he hates black women. In all of his films, black women are struggling, they're abused, they're in these terrible, abusive relationships, and, kind of tells you in some of the films, especially like in Daddy's Girls and other films, like to aim low because the guy making upwards of six figures doesn't want you. So, find the mechanic, give him a chance, find the guy at the burger and give him a chance. Because anybody with financial means does not want a black woman, right? Or if you're a single black woman, this is what you got to accept, right? That's the flack that he gets. And I understand that perspective. But Tyler Perry tells a specific story in all of his films, all of his television shows, that are not just race specific, but specific to a specific class, tailored to a specific class. He doesn't write a whole lot of films or a whole lot of parts about people that are extremely successful, because that's not his background. That's not where he came from, right? Tyler Perry grew up struggling. His father was abusive, as I understand. He at some point branched off. He was homeless, but he poured in all of his efforts and his time and his focus to get to where he is now. So you can really say he pulled himself up by his bootstraps, right? Because he was living in his car, using his credit cards, everything that he had basically to get his plays off the ground and to get going. And here we are, we know Tyler Perry. So he tells a specific story, which is what he's seen, what he's been around. And yeah, now that he's more affluent, will we really relate to Billionaire Tales? Would that be relatable? Would we understand? And yes, that would, be a window for us to, look and peek into, and that's how they live, and that's so interesting. And I think with the have and the have-nots, and, I think it's another show that came out, but I can't remember the name, like Sisters. So some things may be more relatable and less struggling, but overall, he's talking about people that otherwise would never have had a voice. We would never know what they go through. Right? Somebody has to be the voice for the voiceless. Also, what I respect about Tyler Perry is that he's very fair in his payments. I believe it was Taraji P. Henson that stated that she didn't receive what she felt that she was entitled to in terms of compensation for the work that she's put in until she started working for him, until she worked for him. That was her first real big paycheck. Okay? So yeah, while maybe we want to see black superheroes, thankfully we saw Black Panther, right? We want to see, us represented in other films. We aren't necessarily getting compensated for that fairly. And you think about actors such as Sinbad, who a lot of us grew up watching on A Different World. Other people in maybe a different age bracket may know him from his comedy and stand-up specials. But Sinbad just came out of a stroke, had a stroke in 2020, and now he's on the road to recovery, doing well. And he allowed him this opportunity. So Tyler Perry is somebody that values and places value on black people. And so on one end, you can't say you're upset that there is no black representation, that black people aren't working, black actors, black actresses, don't have fair opportunities. When here is somebody that's built their own house, created their own table, and have welcomed you to have a seat at, and then complain about what's being served. Okay? You really can't have it both ways. In Hollywood, I don't see a lot of opportunities for black actors and black actresses unless you're, the creme de la creme. Yeah, we'll probably continue to see Denzel. We'll probably continue to see Angela Bassett. We'll continue to see Samuel L. Jackson. And a few more, Kevin Hart. There's probably about 10 to 15, actors and actresses black actors and black actresses that we'll see. But that's just where it is. And even, again, the compensation is not there. Loretta Devine is another one. She acts and is, still acting, right? Zendaya, I know that she's biracial. I don't see a lot of parts for Zendaya. So here's somebody that's creating opportunity. What are we complaining about? And Tyler Perry does so much for the community. He does so much for the community, not just the wealthy community, but for, what we would call or consider the common man. And I think about something that my father said when Tyler Perry was really kind of breaking ground and getting through with his plays, with his, not his play, the play that turned into a movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And then a few things after that. And Spike Lee was against it. He was like, oh my God, these are minstrel shows. What is this? And I remember talking to my father about it. And he said, babe, he said, sometimes a movie is just a movie. A show is just a show. We don't have to pontificate. We don't have to dissect and have think pieces about every movie or every television show. Just because it's black. When we watch something that's predominantly white, we're not dissecting it and, and how is this representing white people and white culture? No, we're just subconsciously, we're just watching a movie. But whenever it's something, predominantly African American or completely African American, it's like, oh, well, let's break it down. Let's criticize it. Let's critique it. And what does this mean? And representation and why does it have to be? Because it's, these things happen. This is real life. You may not have to like it. But yes, there are people that go through financial struggles. There are people that don't know how to get out of those financial struggles. There are people that, there are women that have children that aren't married or that were married and the marriage didn't work out, or this, the father of a child or children is locked away or just, absent or whatever the case may be, or maybe it wasn't a relationship to begin with and it was kind of just a fling and there was a child conceived in that. I mean, there are so many different stories and they deserve to be told. Who are we to say, I don't want to hear, and I guess that's your opinion about this specific story, and that's fine. You have that right to say, I don't want to watch this or this is beneath me, or this is so typical, or this is so stereotypical. You have that right. But in terms of Tyler Perry's filmmaking and his television production, at some point you just have to realize what he's doing is just telling stories about what he knows, what he's experienced, and people that he believes deserve a voice. And just because there are black actors and black actresses in this film doesn't mean these stories are just specific to black people. There are people of all races that experience financial hardships, relationship betrayals, dramas, children acting up. That's across the board. That's not only a black thing. That's not a black culture thing. Because nobody is perfect. Because no situation is perfect. No job is perfect. No relationship is perfect. Your children aren't perfect. Your parents aren't perfect. None of that. Your churches, aren't perfect. We are all works in progress. So I don't see and I don't understand the hate for Tyler Perry's films. Because again, he's employing what you're complaining about. He's given black actors the opportunities to work and to make adequate compensation for their talents, which they're not getting in Hollywood. And you're getting to see yourself on the screen. The representation that you're talking about. And even in the film The Straw, without giving too much away, I think you can probably see this on the trailer, we do see Sherry Shepherd is a professional woman. She's the manager at a bank, and she's married and has a family. So there is your, middle class representation there. And there's a point in the film where Sherry Shepherd, without giving it away, speaks to why she's in the position that she's in at the bank and what she saw that made her want that position, made her aim for that. So, look for the little nuggets and don't just get caught up in the sensationalism of, oh, here's another poor black woman. I'm so sick of seeing poor black women. There are poor people in America. There are poor people all over this world. Like the Bible says, the poor will always be with you. Everyone's not going to be a multimillionaire. Let's accept that. Everyone's not going to be a multimillionaire. Okay? So I gave the movie, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8. I give it an 8, and I'd say go watch it. Just go watch it with minimal expectations and take the blinders off of it being, or put blinders on of it being just a black film. It's a movie about a person who is going through probably the worst time of their life and how they are responding and reacting to that time. All right. Thanks for watching.